Good afternoon, everybody. It is your boy Boosberg, and today it is Mix Up Monday number 3. And today I kind of done a little different video today, and so it's not gonna be a gaming video like I did the last couple of times. It's actually a survey that I did the last couple of days. So I did some market research at my job, and so I asked 100 people what they think about my generation and to describe it in 1 to 2 words. And so I'm Generation Z because I'm 22 years old. And so I have some information here that I would like to share with you guys, and let's jump right into it. Okay, everybody, here's the information that I got. And so right here, I have all the words that I got. So all 100 words. I'm not going to go through every single word because that's I'm pretty sure you guys don't want me to sit here and just list out every word. I will have a link to my Google Sheets. So if you guys are interested in what everybody did say, you could go through it. I'll have the link posted down below. So if you are interested, please go through it. But I will go through over some. And so with that, I have them grouped where you can see all these numbers here, the 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 1 means that they're positive, 2 means that it's negative, 3 is mixed, so it can mean either both positive and negative, and I have 4, which is undecisive. And so 4 is kind of, I had to put this in because when I asked people, they said they had no clue or I don't know because they simply did not, hmm, they did not talk to anyone that was my age or had any access, I would say, not access, but was they never talked to someone that was in my age range. So they said that I simply don't know, so I don't want to judge or I don't want to say something that that could apply. So I said, okay, I still said I don't know is still a good answer. And so that's what that is. And so here I could pull up here the table that I got. So right here we have 40 positive responses, 49 negative, 7 mixed, and 4 undecisive. And so that comes to mostly this is negative. So a lot more people seeing our generation in a negative light. However, I did pick out the first word that everyone said. And so some people had like both negative and positive, but if the first one was negative, I went with that one or positive. And so, but that being said, that there is still a good amount of positivity in here, as you can see here, 49 to 40, which is not the worst. So only down by 9%, but even the mix. So if you really think about it, it's not really that far behind because mix could go into either. And then I'll go through some of the mix words. I have this pie chart here, which is a little bit of a kind of like an understanding of or just a simple showing because I mean here is just numbers, so it's like oh, okay, well, here's a number, but this is kind of what it really looks like. And so remember, this isn't an entire generalization. A lot of people did say when I was talking to them that they didn't want to generalize an entire generation because of a couple of people. Some did, some didn't. I would say mostly they did not. And so they would give me a word that was pretty fitting to most. So, I mean, of course, you got a couple of people that were going to say lazy anyways. So it's like, oh, I think your generation's lazy. And I'm like, okay, that's understandable. I had some people said that we were unmotivated. A lot of people said that we were entitled. And so I completely understand where that's coming from. And so, I mean, it's just the interactions they've had with our generation to where it shaped their perspective on us for how they view us. And so one of the conversations I do remember that I had yesterday when I was getting this data was that I had this older gentleman. He was a contractor, and he said that he hired a lot of people that were similar in my age, and he said that it was a waste of time and money for him because every time they were out working, they would be on their phones or they wouldn't be listening to him. And he said that I'd rather just hire a 50-year-old dude than someone that's 22 because they would actually work compared to the 22-year-old that's sitting on their phone. And I'm like, okay, so for him, he was saying that I just do not like. He's like, I just think your generation was. I think one of his was unmotivated, and he said that I think you guys are just not motivated enough to do anything because there's no drive there. And I was like, okay, but he says, it's like, well, it's not. it's like, well, it's not for you because you're out here working and trying to do some sampling for my video, and so that's that's how some people see us, where it's from past experiences with our generation that they form connections, and they're just like, okay, well, this is how most of our generation is, not all, because you can never really say all to a generation because that just will not apply because it's not true. And so here I'll start going over some of the words. And so let's start with the positive stuff. So here, let me sort this out. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff here to go over. I mean, but one of the bigger ones that I liked was progressive, and I think very outspoken. I think those two are really key, I would say, to this as well. I mean, also, yeah, potential, outspoken, progressive, I would say, are kind of like the three that are kind of, I would say, the big points that I would take away from this. I mean, definitely innovative. I had people say that we're a lot more tech savvy, and I put tech savvy in the negative side because when they said tech savvy, it was more so because we're on our phones so much. But being tech savvy meant that we're very we have a lot of potential with technology and with AI coming out, and so this is one of the things that I got from the positive side, where we have a lot of potential ahead of us and a future like you see here. And so that's some of the words from the positive grouping, and then here to the negative. And so I mean, of course, I mean, big words, you're going to see right off the gate. um Naive, lazy, unmotivated, entitled, soft, a lot of words that a lot of people would you know group us in. And so that was kind of, I mean, those are kind of the big ones, but a big one as well is misled. And I think I think I got about 3 or 4 people that said we were misled, and that because we're misled, we don't know what we're doing and we don't know where to go. And so that's kind of what makes us naive and entitled to some extent. And so now, from the negative, I mean, if you guys want to look more into this, feel free to dive in the link below. Here we go. Mixed. So I kind of want to go over. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I'll definitely go over a couple. And so the first one I'll go over is parents' job. I didn't want to put this positive, nor did I want to put it negative, because when I asked the couple, um, the man that gave me the answer, he said, I believe it's a parent's job for the generation. He's like, it could be either good or bad because it it really just does depend on how the parents or the kids' upbringing from the parents, of did the parents teach them properly, did they have enough discipline, you know just going through all of that. It's like if the child comes up being entitled, it's some sort of parent's fault where they could have done something a little bit more to prevent that. And so that's why I didn't want to put it negative, because it's like you can't just solely blame the parents for why their child got raised like that. And so that's why it's mixed. I don't want to put it positive, nor do I want to put it negative. I mean, but some of them are also kind of they're like varies. That's positive or negative. And then Dreamer Generation, I got that one. At first, I was gonna put it negative, but then I mean, because we're dreamers, that means we're very optimistic in our approach to certain situations. So that means that we could see more positives than negatives in some, but sometimes the negatives, like we're just only want to live in our ideas and we don't want to be in the real world. I mean, that's kind of how we are with video games and TV and going out, just having some sort of escape to live out a dream, but not really pursue any goals and passion or plans. And then the last one I'll talk about is living in the moment, because this can be seen as very negative. However, I believe that it's also positive as well, because I was talking to an older gentleman yesterday as well, that you guys could live in the moment now because you guys have so much ahead of us that we could look towards, and do more things in the future. And he says that because, when he was growing up, that it was as soon as he turned 18, he was straight into the workforce. He's like, now it's like you guys, you're traveling, you're not going to school right away, you're figuring out things. So that's like that having some fun before, just locking yourself in, buying a house, starting a family, starting, workforce is it's like it's definitely a plus where it's like I wish he said I wish I had spent some time traveling. He's like I definitely would have done that if I was younger, but that's why I can't really put it in negative, and so that's why I have that mix. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. This is what I found with my research. I It's a bit of a longer video than I had like, but if you do want to see more of this type of videos of me researching and going out, please leave down a question that you want me to go ask people, and I'll go do it. But for right now, this is the first one, and so I maybe next week I might do another. We'll see. I think I might stick to another video game for next Monday, or you know how Mix It Up Monday is. But if you guys do want to see some question you want me to ask people, please leave a comment down below and like the video as well, so then I could start doing more in the future. With that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day.